Greetings to you wherever you are. It's really a joy and a blessing to be reaching out to you, to speak to you on this very important topic concerning how magic is real. And I'm going to show you how it works. And you're going to prove it for yourself. That most people have in their home a book of magic, but they do not know how to use it. Though they have been given 66 books, and others have been removed. And you can get up to 88 books if you get the Ethiopian Bible. Yet the principle remains the same. Yes, the principle remains the same. And these principles is what I would definitely like to share with you, and we can have a healthy discussion concerning magic and what is magic and how it really works. There's so many people all around the world that are using magic and they are aware of it. There are most people all around the world who fail to realize that life on this planet, it's a game among magicians. And you either learn how to play the game or you will get played by the game. You see, most people who allow themselves to get played by the game fail to realize how people like T.D. Jakes are playing the game. Creflo Dollar, he know how to play the game. Joel Osteen, he know how to play the game. Kenneth Copeland, he know how to play the game. These guys are professionals when it comes to casting spell. When it comes to using the 66 books of magic, these guys have people all around the world who are willing and ready to support what they are doing. Why? Because they believe. That is the principle I want you to focus upon. To show you that there is magic in believing and power in believing. And I'm going to do some practical things today too. Okay, I think I have money with me here. And so I'll do a little money exercise too to show you how to use money magic. And how the Bible teach you a lot of money magic. But a lot of people do not know that the Bible is teaching them a lot of money magic. Okay, so I'll share a little bit of scriptures with you too concerning how the Bible is teaching you money magic and how it is warning you about other magic. As a matter of fact, every form of magic that you can think about is written in the Bible. But most people don't realize it. Yet, the Bible itself, when you really understand how it's been used, you realize that it could be either used against you, or it could be used in your favor. I just mentioned the names of some very popular and filthy wealthy people who've been using it to their advantage. And I'm not here to call them names. I'm not here to expose them. I'm just here to say that they understand the game and they are playing the game and they're playing the game like true masters. But I want to teach you that you have the potential in you to be a master just like them. If you're willing to unlearn and relearn, and you're willing to reprogram your subconscious mind. Now, let me share a little experience with you about myself and how I've been using magic from as far back as I could remember myself as a little boy. Okay? So it is something that is already built in me and many other people too. But they were distracted at a very, very, very early age because of their upbringing. So, for example, I didn't have much upbringing with a mother trying to instill a bunch of things in my head at an early stage. I grew up around my grandmother. My mother was not around, and so on. And so it's like I used to have a lot of time for myself and a lot of time to be with myself. Okay. And so I learned to enjoy being alone and believing in the unseen. So I've been walking with the unseen from as far back as I could remember. And that is why I could tell you that whenever you enter into the school system, it will start to erase your memory of that power that you have, that magical power that you have, that magical power that you used to use to make all things possible. And you was doing it through your imagination. And so they switch you from imagination to memory. So they have you regurgitating a lot of things and using repetition to program you. But fortunately, I went to school at a very late age. And I didn't know that until when I become old, I asked my mother, why is it I was like the oldest child in my class, yet I never repeat in school and so on. What was it? What was the cause for that? If she never used to send me to school, she said, yes. But at a young age, I never used to want to go to school. I used to want to go under the fruit trees and pick up mangoes and put them aside for people when they pass by, they could get something. And so it's like, there's something that been built in me from a long time that I always want to help people. And then I remember at a very young age how I used to just use my imagination to get fruits off of the trees. And I wrote that in a book called Meditate to Eradicate Poverty. In that book, I spoke about my experience and how even my aunt used to ask me what manner of person I am. Because sometimes 4, 5, 6 people will go on that mango tree and they'll come down from the mango tree without any mangoes. They haven't found anything. And then I would go there and I would get 3 or 4. And I know many a times it was me using that power and orchestrating within myself, even the different limbs, I want to go and find mango. And it used to happen. So I always felt like, there was someone guiding me and leading me from a very young age. But that was me being introduced to my magical self. That was me being introduced to the part of me whereby all things are possible. But I didn't know. Okay? So, when I became older, at an older age, I wanted a certain walk. And so they were building a resort. And while that resort was being built, I used to tell people close to me, I'm going to work at that resort. And I'm going to work there as a fitness trainer. The resort was called Bukumembe Resort. It used to be run by an Englishman named David Ames. Okay? And my experience there is what allowed me to write a book called Bukumembe Resort and the Messenger, because I've never had any experience to know that I live in a world where other people are actually using magic to keep me a certain way. And if I do not learn about my magical self and exercise my magical powers, I would not be able to free myself. And so many people could quote Bob Marley saying that you must emancipate yourself from mental slavery. But very few people can actually do it. They can only say it, they can only sing it, but they do not really have a true understanding of it, because of the way how their subconscious mind have been programmed from a child. The way they were programmed to think and how they were programmed to think. That is why when it comes to miracles, everyone will accept and believe and embrace a man that they can't see, they can't touch, they can't taste. An imaginary man in the mind, and fail to realize if you have to imagine that man, it means your imagination exists before that man. And so they will believe that there was a man who could perform miracles. But when you tell them that same man was a master magician and it is magic it is speaking about, they wouldn't believe, because they do not understand that the book is mind science, and they do not understand that it's a science of the mind. That's why when it comes to magic, it's the magic of your mind that I'm speaking about. And whatsoever you believe, truly believe, it must come to pass. So I used to believe that I'm going to work at that resort as a fitness trainer. And when that resort opened, I didn't know. And the first person started working at that resort was a white man from South Africa, because they wasn't employing anyone who looks like me to be a fitness trainer and that resort. They would employ them to be landscapers. They would employ them to be pool boys and so on. They would employ them to do a lot of manual work and so on, to be waiters and waitresses and so on, to take care of the hotel rooms and so on. Those are the kind of work the people was getting. But I wanted to work there as a trainer. Okay? And so, as I said before, I used to always say while it was being built that I'm going to work there, and I believe it. And I did work there, and I had the confidence to leave there when I wanted to leave there, when I saw things that wasn't resonating with me. Like, for example, they brought another worker there with me who happened to be a Caucasian, and he didn't know anything. And he did confess to me that he didn't know anything. Okay, because I would have already discerned within that he didn't know anything and he wasn't real. And so when certain people was coming down from England, normally they used to give you a heads up, okay, at the gym, how advanced these people come in, how advanced they are in what they are doing. Because sometimes they might don't recommend, okay, when I get to the hotel, I want to do some yoga, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go to the gym, I want to do that, and so on too. Okay, so especially when they have important people coming, they used to give us a heads up also, okay? So one time some people was coming who wanted to, do yoga while they were staying at the resort. So I told this Caucasian guy to take that class. And he keeps saying, no, can't take that class. I must take that class. And I keep saying, no, but you take the class. And he keeps saying, no, you take the class. Then he starts saying, but you the man. Then I start saying, no, you the man. And the reason why I was doing that is because of the way how people like him were cheated and the result compared to people like me. For example, they used to pay people like him in US while they would pay us in the standard EC, Eastern Caribbean dollars that we have it. And that's how the governmental system in my country set it up for them to pay us. You get me? Because I want you to understand how important it is to discover your magical self. I want you to understand how important for you to know that this, what I'm holding in my hand here, the 66 books of magic, the Overcomer's Bible, it is available to you, and this is the New Testament. You understand why I removed Jesus, why I removed the idol, and I leave a blank space for you to take your place as the magician, the great magician, for you to take your place as a master magician, for you to accept that your real identity is your divinity. So, this book is my gift to you. You can find it on Amazon. It's available to all those people who believe what I am saying. That is all magic and that we are magicians. Okay? And you have the right to use your magic. And because they know that you are magical, they make sure they state in the Bible that you mustn't do certain things. You mustn't practice necromancy, you mustn't read palm, you mustn't use tarot cards, you mustn't do none of these things. The preachers will preach against these things. They tell you don't use divination, don't use none of these things. But when you understand the Bible from a mystical standpoint, when you understand it from a metaphysical and esoteric standpoint, when you understand it from a psychological standpoint, when you understand it from the standpoint of one who self-realized and self-actualized, when you understand it from the standpoint of one who have come into his Christ consciousness, when you understand it from the standpoint of science, of energy, vibration, and frequency, when you understand it from the standpoint of the solar system, you'll understand why you have a soul. And you'll understand why every magical act you could think about is in that book. But they will lose your dependency upon them if only you discover that the main character is you. That is why this book must be in your house. And when you have it in your house, learn how to use it. Get the New Testament. I have the Old Testament, I have the New Testament. I'm telling you, get the New Testament. With this New Testament, this book of magic, I start with John. This book ain't begin with Matthew. It begin with John. John represents love. You can't start doing magic, real magic, without love. And you can't find love if you ain't find yourself. And when you find yourself, there's no way you could find yourself and you ain't find the pearl of great price. There's no way you could find yourself and you don't realize that the kingdom of God is within you and that no man must ever say to you, lo here or lo there. Do you realize all these preachers with private jet who are taking so much tithes and offering from the people? You realize they're pointing the people to look on the outside for someone to come to save them. They're getting the people to put their hope on a magical moment. They believe a magical moment will happen in their life where they will just slip out of their body. When the magical moment will take place inwardly. And you will change from mortal to immortality. Because you change from one form to another form. And then that's how you understand magic. Real magic is taking things from the invisible world and making it possible in the visible three-dimensional physical world. When it tells you that a man turned water into wine, is a magical secret it is teaching you about. It is teaching you of a master magician. That is why, as I mentioned before, okay, and let me get into the practical now, okay? Let me take out this $100. This is $100. Okay, this is $100 in our currency. Okay. The Eastern Caribbean currency. This is called money. Whose head do you see on this money? Most people tell you they see the queen head on this money. But I'm not seeing the queen head on this money. No. Let me tell you why I'm not seeing the queen head on this money. This image you're seeing here is imaginary. The picture of this queen here, they said that she's already dead. Queen Elizabeth. She already passed on. So this is just an imaginary figure here. And all of these other symbols on top of this money, they're imaginary. Even the photograph of the man in the back here too, it's all imaginary. Everything here is imaginary. But you can smell it. It have a particular smell. You can touch it or feel it. And from the smell and from the touch, you could discern it. You can make a special song with it. Okay? It have a peculiar song when you're flipping it or flicking it. Now, if you believe that you're a magician, truly believe that you're a magician, and you really believe in magic, and you believe that the Bible is a book of magic, as what I'm telling you, and it is 66 books of magic, then go to Habakkuk, chapter 1. Read verses 1 to verses 4. So you can write that down. That is you looking for solution. That is you find yourself in problems and situation. And you're trying to figure things out. You're looking for answer. That is you having questions in life and you're looking for answers. You have bills to pay. You have a life to live. You have children to feed. You have things to take care of. And you're looking for answers in life. And you're seeking for power. And you can either seek for that power outside, or you can seek for that power inside. And when you seek that power, you're looking for answer. So, write down Habakkuk chapter 1, verses 1 to 4. And now, write down Habakkuk. Same Habakkuk. Chapter 2, verses 1 to verses 4. So get those two magical scriptures there, and I'm going to show you magic. Okay, real magic. So you have Habakkuk, chapter 1, verses 1 to verses 4, and Habakkuk chapter 2, verses 1 to verses 4. You read it. And you see that you have a problem, you have a situation, and that is in chapter 1. In chapter 2, it's telling you how to fix the problem, how to fix the situation, how to bring solution. And when you read about the main character in the Bible, in the book of magic, this main character always solving problems and answering all your questions. Check it out. From the old to the new. There's only one major character. That is why if you really want to teach people this power, you have to let them know the secret of the main character. That is why I said the character that they had there before that would push you in idolatry, I remove that. And I leave a blank space for you to put your identity, your name. So if you think your I am is this, well, too bad for you. Your I am is not this. The higher self is not this. Okay? So, he said you must write down the vision. What kind of vision? Now, when it comes to finances, it starts with a vision. You have to have a vision of how to bring this into your reality. And you're going to learn how to bring this into your reality by using your creativity. So when you go inwardly and you visualize this, and you have this in your hand, and you're counting how much you want in your imagination, and you're smelling it, you're feeling it, you're hearing the sound of it. It is because you do exactly what the spell says to do. Because it says you must write it down. When you write it down, that is you doing a ritual magic, a magical ritual thing with your fingers, the tip of your fingers, and the words you're writing, communicating back to your entire DNA. The ink in the pen represents the blood that flows throughout your entire body. And the heart is what is pushing that currency out throughout your body. And you're writing it with feeling and emotion. Because you understand it's a science. And you're using this book as a book of science, as a manual to give you anything, including money. So you write down the vision and how much of this you want. So you say write down the vision, you say you must make it plain. I remember quite vividly a woman wanted to speak to me about spirituality, trying to test me, thinking I'm just a bullshitter, I just talking. And when I ask her, I say, how rich you would like to be? She going wrong, so come wrong, so oh, I want to get so rich, I want to help so much of people, I want to do this, I want to do that. She wanna do all kind of thing, except to be able to tell me how rich. Say, I said to her, I said, you do not even know how fucking rich you want to be, yet you want to come and tell me about spirituality when you just a parrot repeating everything you hear someone else say. And I know I am speaking from experience, and you come in and tell me bullshit. You don't even know what you want. I say, go take up your Bible. Let me show you something. I carry you right in that same Habakkuk. I say, you have to write it down. You have to make it plain and straight. It's a spell you're going to cast. This is a book of spells. I say, and do the vision, Tari, you have to understand that there's a large gestation because you're working with divine infinite laws. We're spiritual scientists and we're working with spiritual laws. You're not a human trying to be spiritual, trying to just survive, trying to just make it. Your spirit having a human experience. That is why I could tie my experience back to Bukumembe Resort and why I wrote the book Bukumembe Resort and the Messenger. And when they wanted us to promote a guy who wasn't even qualified to be over me based on his complexion and his skin. And you can't vex with them for playing the game the way they know to play the game and the way they were formed and shaped and mold to play the game because of the love polarity. They have to be the love opposite. You can't have hot and you don't have cold. You always have to have the love opposite. So you can't be so spiritual that you're gonna say that there's no other race but the human race. They're different species of birds, but they're all birds. They're different species of animals, but they're all animals. So we have to understand each other, to understand the game and the rules of the game. So you watching a movie and you have the man who's playing the starring role, and you have the man playing the co-star, or who people call the head crook. He have to play his script a certain way, and the next man have to play his script a certain way. So I hold no anger towards what I face when I was working at the resort. I hold no anger, anything like that. But it was used to teach me how to really trust my power. And so when I leave the resort, before I leave, I told them I'm not an indentured servant and I do not have any slave mentality. And I said before, because I stand for what is right. Because I haven't gone into full detail to explain the whole thing, okay? You'll have to get the book, okay? Book members and the messenger. I told them, I said, God is going to stand by my side. And I remember quite vividly, I went home and I said, I am not leaving this house to go anywhere, to look for any job. Whatever I'm supposed to do is going to come right here for me. And it wouldn't be me answering to anyone. It wouldn't be me working with anyone. And that is how I established my first business. And though it started was to manifest. I remember quite vividly, I said, I am not going to leave the house until this said person send a message to me and tell me to come and sign the paper to get that building to use. And then the message came to me where the person say, why I am not coming to sign the paper and get things going. Then I went and signed the paper. So my brother and my sisters, as I said before, are born with this potential, this magical potential inside of me. And you born with it too. And I'm introducing it to you. So as I was mentioning concerning the money, okay, and you being a magician, to how much of this you could count in your imagination, you could definitely receive it in your reality. For example, if you want to be counting money every single day of your life, you could do it working in a bank. I could do it counting it for yourself. Also, you could do it working for someone else as a cashier. I could do it for yourself. If only you know that you have magical powers and the Bible is a book of magic. Get this. The 66 books of magic. Go and get it in your house. Okay, get the New Testament and find every place in that New Testament where Jesus used to be. And take back your power. Lay claim to your identity. Put your name there. I am. The two words are put together that they call your name is not who you are, you know. Don't make them fool you. Your parents, they too fall under the spell that was used towards them when they were a little child. Magic was used on them. So you have to break the magic spell that is on you. So everything I'm saying here, I'm telling you how to break the magic spell. That's why I tell you this Bible here, it starts with what? Love. Love is the first thing you have to discover to break this magic spell. Self-love, self-acceptance. And if you do not do that and start to invest in yourself with things like this to better yourself, if you do not do that, after this message, I'm telling you by 2030, a robot will be teaching you. Just now, with AI and how fast AI is moving, check out YouTube and see so much faceless channels and see how much views they're getting. Robots will be teaching you. You be learning your spirituality from robots. That never had any experience. And remember, the law of reproduction is that every seed and every species must and will always reproduce after its own kind. If I am truly an enlightened, self-realized, self-actualized person, if I'm truly a person who experiences Christ consciousness, if I'm truly a person who knows that we are magicians and we have a magical power inside of us, And that the book is a magic book. And that you can call those things that be not as though they are. And I can give you experience upon experiences. And you don't act, then it is you who blocking yourself. You see, when you understand the principle of giving and receiving, you will understand that there are people in this world who all want to receive, but they never want to give. I saw a guy who comment on one of these live, I think, when I was offering my honey breathing technique. And I said you can't just put it on YouTube out in the public like that. So I put it at a certain place and you have to pay to get it. He said, I will put it behind a paywall. You see, people like that do not understand the rules of the game. Those are people who value money more than the power that create money. You can't pay me for this wisdom. Nobody could pay me for this wisdom. You can't pay me for this wisdom. The creator is greater than the creation. The power that create money is greater than money. As a matter of fact, let me share a little scriptural secret with you. Prove to you that this book that I'm offering you, this Bible, the 66 books of magic, right? How you could do a money magic. Because I was showing you this thing with the money, right? It tells you that a man was crippled in Acts chapter 3. Check it out for yourself. Acts chapter 3. It tells you a man was crippled, financially speaking. Check it out for yourself, Acts chapter 3. And check out preachers all around the world, whoever speak on that topic. You'll hear they tell you that this man was physically sick. No, this is not a man who's physically sick. This is a man who's financially sick. And he can't stand on his 2 feet financially. And a man who found the power of love and faith. Which is a man who found John and Peter. That man realized that he had a journey in this life. And there's a time of desire. And there's a time of action. And so, in a parabolic way, and in a mystical way, it's been conveyed to us in Acts chapter 3 from verses 1. Read it. It says that Peter and John look on the man and they say, silver and gold have I none, but such have I. You see, in the name of I am, when you read my Bible and you put your I am, when you find your I am identity, you'll be able to stand on your 2 feet, financially whole, just simply by learning to count money. Have money right here. Count it in your imagination. Because you're looking at someone's head and fail to realize that it's your head that is there. Because you fail to realize that everything you see on this money is an out picturing of the mind. So money is mental, it's psychological, and it's spiritual. So until you understand that you have a magic book and how to use the magic book, you'll be confused. You'll be easily brainwashed and deceived by preachers. You'll be paying tithes and offering for years and see no result. Okay? And so, when it comes to breathing, mindful breathing, there is a big secret in mindful breathing in the Bible when it tells you that the essential character of the Bible breathes upon them, empower them and send them out. When you understand the power of your breath and the power of your mind, and you start to put all the alchemical substance of thought to manifest into this reality, and you start to think about how water under a certain temperature could become solid, and you start to think in terms of you taking that water of which most of your body make up of, and you using your thoughts, the wind, and you using your emotion and your desire, the fire, and the body is the earth, and you start to put them elements together. What do you think will happen? Transmutation of energy. You'll be able to transmute or turn water into wine. That's a book that I would have written. You can get it on Amazon. How to turn water into wine. Since you living on this planet, have you ever seen any preacher who turn water into wine? None. Because why? The Bible is not speaking about taking literal water and turn it into wine, and it is not speaking about literal, special, unique man who existed thousands of years ago. No. It's speaking about the man that is in each and every one of us. That great magician, your magical self, the self of you whereby all things are possible. There's nothing that anyone could tell me that Jesus would have done that I cannot do in my imagination. I can do all these things in my imagination. So, my brother and my sisters, start to practice your money magic. Always keep like $100 on you, or you can keep a stock on you if you want, okay? And learn to smell it, feel it, and count it. Just before you go to bed in your imagination, count it at mornings when you wake up too. But don't just count it like that. Count it in a way knowing that it is yours, feeling that it is yours, being happy that it is yours. And then the idea will come to you. What to say, what to do. All of these different events, it will come because a series of events must take place before this could take place in your life and you experience it as a hardened outer objective fact. So it's all magic. So don't let that scare you and say, oh, Jesus did miracles, but magic is something else. No, it's the same thing. And it is all about you. That is why, again and again, I would encourage you to get this in your house. Get this magic book in your house, the 66 books of magic, the Overcomer's Bible, where the New Testament starts with John, starts with love. And in the Old Testament, I end with Chronicles. Chronicles is a funeral announcement. Yeah, the book of Chronicles represents your funeral announcement. You see, they trap you so much in this realm that you forget your mortality. You see, it's only when you really find your immortality, then you will understand your mortality. You would no longer afraid of death. That's why you wouldn't be attacking it because you're always mindful of it. But when you think that it is something you shouldn't talk about, and you use death like a taboo, yet The church make money off funeral processions. They make money off weddings and so on. Because they continually using their magic on you. If you ask most people who's married, what is sex? They don't know what it means. And there's no in the very Bible that they read that states that you must pay the government some money and sign a piece of paper. But they convince you to forget about all of your magical powers. In so much that you're getting played by the game. But my brother and my sisters, it's never too late for you to learn how to play the game and start to play the game. As I said, you can change your financial situation with just one exercise. With just one exercise. And there are people who is going to work for because they truly, truly believe in what I am saying. And there's a way how we just know people who truly, truly believe in what you're saying. Because you always have to have a mixture. Some seed have to fall by the wayside. Some seed have to get eaten up by the birds and so on. But it's only the seeds that germinate. Those who go to the process of death, burial, and resurrection. Those are the ones who bring forth. Whether it's a 30-fold or 40-fold or 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 or 90 or 100-fold. You must bring forth. There's no way you can use your magical powers and you don't get results. You see, everyone is using the magical power, but most people are using the magical power unconsciously. When I realized that money is just energy, and it is a tool, okay, a measurement. When I understand that this can give you a lot of different options in life, and I realize that I'm not supposed to chase this. This is supposed to chase me. Then I start to chase after wisdom instead of money. So what I did, I leave my job at the post office as a postman. And the other workers, they were saying, maybe I had something to fall back on, but I had nothing to fall back on but my magical powers. I believed in my magical self. At the time, I didn't know anything about my mind magic. It's just that I believe in myself and I wanted to pursue the things that I love. And at the time, I've loved fitness and I wanted to pursue fitness and so on. And I didn't care about the money. I just wanted to do what I felt led to do. Okay, because when I look at the system and so on, I see like life wasn't gonna make any sense. Me just walking, and then after retirement and all I have in this world is maybe a home to live and nothing else. No legacy, nothing for people to remember me by. You know, nothing at all. And I look around and I see my society and I see the suffering. And I was always looking for the answer. That's why from a very young age I asked myself, who am I? And who is God? And when I found myself and when I found God, I found the truth. And I found it within. I found my magical self. I learned by experience that I'm a magician. And I am the master of my destiny. And I'm sharing the knowledge with you. Okay? So, start to challenge yourself. If you want to get more money, start to count more money repetitively in your imagination. Start with it every day. Think about it every day. But do not think it's going to just fall in your lap like that. Think about service. How could you serve humanity? Things that you love, what you love to do, what you would love to do to humanity. How would you love to serve humanity? Think about that. So your motive for attracting money must not be just to attract money. Your motive must be to transmute your energy of whatsoever you would like to do. And when you do it, because you understand, do unto others as you have them do unto you, you understand that you have to give first. And that is a law. It's the law of compensation, whereby I say you must give first. Give of what? What do you have that you must give? Your magical substance, your ability. Everyone born in this world with some sort of ability, some gift. Say give. It must come back to you in good measure. He said, men will give into your bosom. Why? Because you're giving into their bosom. I'm bringing good news to you. And I'm not asking you for tithes, and I'm not asking you for offering. But I can guarantee you, if you read How to Open the Floodgates of Abundance, which is a book I put together, and explain Malachi chapter 3, to show you that you're a great magician. And to show you that there is no entity on the outside that is greater and higher than you that wants your money. It's not true. And so in that book, I teach you how to sow into your own life and prove for yourself that when the windows of heaven is open up to you, that you would have so much wisdom and so much ideas coming to you that you will never be broke another day in your life. You see, living in abundance means different things for different people. Magic means different things for different people. But those of us who understand the power of the mind, we know the magic of the mind. So we know magic is mental. We know it is ceremonial too. We know that it is ritualistic too. But we all do it. We've been doing rituals from since our birth. Do you know when you go to school, you're involved in rituals and spells? And that is why the repetitions you use at school will help to program you to make you an obedient slave. But you can take that same repetition technique and use it to become a money master and attract money in your life by getting the right ideas of how to use your ability. It's as simple as that. Some people want things to just happen to them just like that. No. You'll be shown the way. That's how you manifest. You'll be shown the way. You see opportunities where other people can't see opportunities. Do you know the amount of people leave my country and say they're going to America, they're going to Canada, they're going to England for better opportunities? Because why? They cannot see the place of opportunity right between their two ears. They can't see it. And most people cannot understand the game of life and the rules that goes with the game of life. People cannot understand this is master and slave. Master up here and slave down there. Most people live down here in the lower self. That's why when people live in the lower self, sometimes they could think I'm talking about race and those kind of things. But I'm just trying to teach you polarity. You have to understand polarity. And when you understand polarity, you will understand why people act the way they act. When people segregate, when people do all of these things. When people act a certain way towards you, when people have a certain belief towards you based on how you look. You understand polarity. It is very important for you to understand polarity. Then you understand why they behave the way they behave, why they act the way they act. You can't expect a goat to behave like a sheep, and you can't expect a sheep to behave like a goat. That's why a sheep don't even mate with a goat, but they are all animals. I'm using that same kind of principle in this game called life. Having nothing against anyone, but knowing that none is inferior and none is superior. There's only one universal consciousness, and that is your magical power. So, learn the game and learn the rules of the game, because ignorance is no excuse for the law. You have no excuse. If you have a Bible in your house, I'm telling you, it's a magic book. And I put it away for you, called the 66 books of magic, starting with the book of John. And I have the old and I have the new. And John is love. And I'm telling you, you will experience a shift when you start to love yourself and you start to believe in yourself. That's why I give you this Bible and remove Jesus. When you remove Jesus, you remove the idol. You remove the idol that they plant in your mind. What you think I'm doing by offering you this Bible is a reprogramming tool that I'm offering you. It's a practical tool that I'm offering you. Now, if you have this in your house and you put your I am, you write I am where Jesus used to be, and you start to affirm those things that was said about Jesus, you start to affirm them in your life. You see for yourself that you're a magician. And it's a magic book. I'm not here to argue with no one. I'm just here to use my craft. Since I know myself growing up, I've heard people talk about witchcraft, I've heard people talk about magic, I've heard people talk all these kind of superstitious things. Yet, all these things that they're speaking about, when I read the Bible, I see the Bible saying that these things are possible, because they say that you shall decree a thing and it shall be established. What is that? They tell you a man walk on water. What is that? They tell you a man turn water into wine. What is that? They tell you a man part a sea so people could cross over. What is that? And you always have a dreamer inside of you. Dreaming. Yeah, you telling me this reality is real? No. That which is real is your true essence. And that's where the magic lies. That's why you have to understand the magic of your mind. That's why you have to know the Bible is mind science. And you have to see it as mind science and use it as a book of mind science. Okay? So when you place yourself in the Bible as the main character, that's when you're a winner. That's why I call the Overcomer's Bible. It's the Overcomer's Bible. Those who overcome the ego self, the negative self, those who overcome the political system and the religious system. And they realize that true salvation is self-realization. Those are the people who would support this work and will get a Bible in their house. And then, this money magic, whereby I was teaching you that you could count money in your imagination, you could feel it, you could smell it, and you could do all of these things. After a while, you find you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different places in your house where you have money just lying there. I call them money altar. Start to build money altar in your house. Places where you put money and just keep accumulating them there. You can accumulate them for 6 months, you can accumulate them for 3 months. Every 3 to 6 months, I just claim my money altars. Bunch of money, they're all over the place. Sometimes your clothes wash and money washing your clothes. And all in your pockets, you have money all over, money all over. And I'm telling you to do this in a world where most people have a mindset of lack and scarcity. And they think you have to struggle to earn money. And they think you have to go on your knees and beg some entity on the outside or some man in the sky to earn and to gain this. And some people have the wrong concept of this. They don't know it's an expression of the energy. They don't know that this is magical because it comes from a magical place. It went through all the different processes of printing and so on, but it comes from a magical place. So you have the 66 books of magic. They give 66, they keep the rest. More than 66. They have up to 88. They keep the rest for themselves to be at a higher level than you. Because these other books was making the secret a little bit more known. That's why everything I'm saying to you is from experience, okay? Now it's an hour now, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go through these comments, okay? Ever feel like your mind be losing grip? Yeah, because what happened, we have to practice self-discipline. When it comes to being magical, self-discipline is very important, and sometimes you find yourself being distracted so easily. And that's why they set up so many things to distract us, okay? They distract you from your magical powers, okay? They use, religion, they use politics, they use music, they use all these different things to distract you. The problem with us, why we are not where we're supposed to be in life many times, is because we have been distracted. Someone said, Jamaican brother. I live in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, okay? But, before our plane ride from Jamaica, okay? My brother, peace and love. Peace and love to you too. Sunday morning motivation. This is more than motivation. Okay, this is inspiration and spiritual direction. Okay, to bring you into a place of manifestation. Where you manifest your life whichever way you want it to be, and you're doing it consciously because you know that you're a magical being and you're using your magical tools. So it's not just, you see, if you practice a certain ritual for a certain time, you become that, Do you know when your parents or your teachers teach you to count, say like from 1 to 100, it's a program they would put in there. And then when they teach you all the other things, it's a program. Well, just as they have you to vibrate on all of those different programs, the same how they did it, it's the same how you could remove it. And the same how you could reinstate new programs. It's like your computer. You can install new programs, software, whatever, into your program, into your computer and so on. It's just like what they're doing right now with AI. They're advancing. They are programming new things. They're discovering new things. They're going further. They're evolving higher and further as an individual. Having this human experience on this planet, you have to keep evolving. It's like, for example, I was having a conversation with a man who was telling me that we are not God. We are only children of God. So I use an example to him. Okay, I said, name me any animal. And the young of that animal, which is the child of that animal, have to grow to become that adult animal. So if you have a kid, you have to come and grow into an adult goat. If you have a lamb, it have to grow into an adult sheep. So if you're a child of God, when are you going to become God? I say, what you're saying doesn't line up with the rest of nature. Because every seed, every species must and will always reproduce after its own kind. So when you have a desire in life and you want to manifest that desire and you believe that in you is the power and is magical power, you don't have to think about how or when it's going to be done. Most people's biggest problem is thinking about how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. You don't have to have the money to buy the vehicle that you want. You can just go to a dealer where they sell them and go and sit inside of it, smell it, touch it, feel the leather, do all of these things. And these things are rituals that are communicating with a certain part of your mind, your subconscious mind. And all you have to do, once you believe it's strong enough, there's magic in believing, you're going to activate the magic that is in you. As a matter of fact, do you know that you come from a magical world? Do you know you come from a place where things could manifest instantly? How do I know that? I remember one time, I had such an out-of-body experience whereby I was flying so fast. It's the fastest I've ever flown, that I fly into another dimension and saw the planets. I saw the planets and so on, and there's a magical place whereby anything I think, it manifests right away. Most magical place. And that place is in mind. That place is in consciousness. Then, I had the experience in the dream world of appearing and disappearing by the speed of thought. You could go through wall just by the speed of thought. So everything you see on this planet that we refer to as something that makes us wealthy, something that makes us rich, it's all spiritual. It came from the spiritual world. It was transmuted into this world, out of the spiritual world, through our minds. It's magic. Don't make no religious person tell you that magic is different to miracles. It's the miracle of your mind. The miracle of your mind and the magic of your mind is teaching you that everything is mental and everything is psychological. That no book could be written that wasn't for us mental or for us psychological. That's why, my brother and my sisters, is either magic be used on you or you use your magic. Because, for example, if you want your yard to be clean, and there's a man who have a burning desire as a landscaper, and he wants to be a landscaper, and he tell a good friend that he's looking for a job doing some landscaping, and he want to make it even big. And say, and then the person say, well, I know a few persons I can speak to them. I have some good friends I normally meet at the golf course. Very wealthy people. Always busy. They always need to keep their surrounding clean and so on. They have more than one homes. They would gladly accept that service that you are offering to do landscaping. And how much men you want to employ? Whether you want to have 100 landscapers employ under you or whatever. That's magic. It's practical magic. But they make you feel like the word magic is a taboo thing. So you have to do some ritual, and they make you believe that there's some satanic ritual and then there's some godly ritual. And you fail to realize that there is no good and there is no evil. It's just different concept of mind. Because the same power that creates good is the same power that creates evil. Even the Bible says so. And I can quote it for you. Go and read Deuteronomy 30 to 39. He said, I am God and there's no other. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. And there's no other. I say again in Isaiah 45. Go and read Isaiah chapter 45, verses 5 to 7. I am God and there's no other. I create the darkness and I create the light. I create good and I create evil. So my brother and my sisters, it's how you see magic. But I'm encouraging you to practice a lot of money magic if you want money. Okay? Money is needed to deal with Caesar and all of the taxes they levied upon you. And I'm saying to you that you must get in touch with your magical self. In an age where AI is being implemented, you better get in touch with your higher self, your magical self, to learn the science of alchemy and create your reality consciously. And don't be afraid to have a desire to attract money. Never be afraid to have desire. You must have a desire to attract so much money in your life that it must take you about 2 to 3 lifetimes. Because that's how you're supposed to play the game. Because it's just a game. It's just fun, having fun. This thing not to take seriously. That's why sometimes men have so much of this, they have to give away all before they die. Because they forget their mortality. Every day of my life, I think about that because I know that it is inevitable. And I want to live every day as if it is the last day. And I want to practice all the things that my heart tells me to practice. And so the reason why I'm sharing this money magic with you, it is because this was something I did at a very early stage. I used to count money all the time in my imagination as my money, not as someone walking with someone. You know, it was just yesterday I passed into a business place and a woman was there checking off the cashier and she was, you know, behaving like she's the most boss, like she's the biggest boss over the young lady, you know, and so on. I could tell, you know, pick up she ego there, you know, because, you know, maybe she has some relation with the owner there, okay? And she's telling her how much she's not balanced. And the young lady is trying to explain to her why it turned out like that and so on. Okay. Because you see, somebody have to play the role of the cashier. But could you imagine? You whole day you spend say 8 hours or 12 hours of your life on this planet counting money. But it's not your money, it's someone else's money. You're helping that person more to achieve their goals and dreams and forget about your goals and dreams. Because why? You're exchanging time for money. But I'm saying to you, find time to use your magic power. And get this magic book in your house. 66 books of magic. Okay? Just find anywhere in this book where they were stealing your energy by giving you a name. Whereby I remove that name Jesus, and I leave a blank space for you to put your name, which is I am. That's how you start to take back your energy. Very few people could do that. You know why? They still believe in this outside entity. They believe that this book, the Bible, they believe that it's literal and secular story. They believe it was a man thousands of years ago. They believe, some people tell you things I'm saying is blasphemy. Big love, brother. Big love to you too. Grand Rising from London. Greetings to you in London. It's always good to have people from all over the world. Hello from Denver, Colorado. We have magicians from Denver, Colorado, tuning in. Thought Farms, yeah. Everything comes from the mind. Everyone carries the mark of absolute dominion of God. Thus, we turned it on their 2 hands and 10 fingers like tablets, commandments, or after 40 days, nights, 41st day is 2 to 10, aka constellation Aquarius. Well, right now we're moving into the Aquarius age. But the main thing I want to get across to you is that you have to be a thinker and a doer. Okay? A thinker and a doer. A real magician is a thinker and a doer. Not a hearer and a talker. You see, a lot of people gonna get trapped in this AI age where there's so much faceless videos on the internet with so much information. And so they wouldn't know that they're in the flood. And they will get drunk with information and just repeating information but no action. Information but no real inspiration to take action. That's why I'm using the money. Why do you think I'm using money? It's to motivate you to take action. What's so hard in smelling this and feeling it and studying it? Really study it. And close your eye and count it in your imagination. What's so hard in that? That's something you could do by yourself alone. And I'm sharing this with you and I am asking you for this through tithes and offering. And I'm not using any fair tactic on you. Why do you think that preachers have so much money and churches and religion? Because these people really, 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 really believe what has been said to them. And these religions, they make sure they sabotage your subconscious mind from a very, 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 very young age and start the program there. Well, I'm telling you, if you start a new program, a new money program, start your own printing press, man. When you have a nice smell. Some people can't smell it like this and play with it like this. They believe in it too much. They believe it real. They say real, you know. Tonight when I fall asleep, where is this? If it's so real and so solid and real, is that expression? Is that shadow? Are the real thing, man? So my brother, my sisters, poverty is of the mind. Scarcity is of the mind. Lack is of the mind. But I can guarantee you, if daily you practice your magic, your life going to change for the better. Okay? When you practice magic, you could travel to any part of the world you want to go. You see, everything have a form. Everything have a shape. A picture. You can form and shape any picture in your mind. Do you know you can form and shape the Eiffel Tower in your mind in France? Do you know that it was for form and shape in the mind before it could have been constructed? Do you know you could form and shape Big Ben in your mind? I think Big Ben is somewhere in England. And you can go and you can look up on the clock for yourself. And they have Times Square, I think, is in New York. Do you know Times Square and all of these things will form and shape in your mind? Do you know if you live in another country and you love boxing so much, and you know they used to do boxing at I think it's Caesar's Palace. They used to call the place, okay? And so on. The guys used to watch a lot of boxing. When I come to this understanding and how magical I am and realize I'm a magician, I realize I can stay in my country and put myself in see the boxing arenas in America and end up there watching boxing. But That's not my interest right now. Wrestling, the same thing too. Back in the day when we used to see these wrestlers, Hulk Hogan and all of these people, wrestling and so on, we never really realized when we see them on the television, that the television come from right here. And we didn't realize that we could have closed our eyes and we could have put ourselves there in imagination, put ourselves there in the physical. That's how some people end up in America, Canada, England, all of these different places. They look at television and they believe in the American dream and they want to experience the American dream and they experience the American dream. My friend, if you listen to me and you have an experience similar to that, then it telling you that what I'm telling you about this money here is true. Do you know that you can imagine which school you want to send your children? If you want to send them Yale, you want to send them Harvard, where you want to send your children? Before the presidents and prime ministers of the world and the different people and the big time preachers and so on, before they decide to send their children to this school or that school, or to live in this area or that area, or to buy this home in this city or that city, or to buy land here or buy land there, they formulate it in their mind first. It's magic you're telling me about. The church been using magic against us. Now it's time for us to use the magic for ourselves, to better ourselves. What's wrong in bettering yourself? What's wrong in desiring to have more money in life? What's wrong with having more money in life? What's wrong in accepting and loving money? But you don't want to go loving money without first you love yourself. There's nowhere that says that money is evil. It only says that the love of money. Some people love it so much they'll do anything for it, not knowing that they have power inside of them to print it. That's all I'm saying. Money was first printed in the mind. And it is still being printed for us in the mind. Yesterday, I went into the grocery. And I'm telling you, I could have feel the energy of the people who own that grocery. And so much people was in the grocery and the people was right there in the office just watching. And that's something I've been seeing happening around with these big business people. They normally do that. And I could tell they say, man, look at all these people. They come under the spell because why? I'm offering a service. And I'm offering that service because I act on the idea. And I act on the idea because I believe in the idea before it manifested. And the reason why I believe in it before it manifested because I believe in myself. And the reason why I believe in myself because I know myself is the creator. They're going to feed you with information on the internet to blow up your ego so big that you're going to say, I am God. Yet you're creating nothing. I am God. Yet you're just living from paycheck to paycheck, but you would like it to change because nothing wrong with living from paycheck to paycheck. But if you want to change it, nothing wrong with going to a job. But when you go into a job that you don't love, it's a different story. That's why when I had enough in the post office, I leave. I wasn't watching money. When I told people I was doing fitness, they asked me, which one making more money? I say, now which one making more money is what I love. That's what I used to tell people. Not which one making more money is what I love. I remember quite vividly a rich man running his own hotel and everything and so on. Rich man, he had money, had land and everything. I was walking with him at the gym. And I had a good friend of mine who had gotten a job there too with the people. And his thing was just about this. And after a year, he done start to check with the people for more money and vacation money and so on and all of that, right? And he ended up, and it cost the people. And I remember I felt so bad that I told the people I could give them at least 2 days out of the week because I was tied up with with about 2 more jobs. Okay. I think at that time I was working at the resort. Plus, I was working at a gym. Plus, I used to do some work with the Ministry of Sports in this country. Okay. So at that time I was like chasing this more than anything else in a way. Okay. But anyway, I decided to do 2 days work. And then the man asked me how much. When I told him the amount, the man looked at me strange, very, very strange. And he said to me, he said, "You're not doing it for the money." I said, "No." He said, "You're doing it for the love." And to cut a long story short, do you realize when I leave the last gym that I was working with, you know, I got that same guy to get the job. I know that guy repeat the same thing. I mean to say he wasn't wrong when he asked for vacation payment for vacation. Either pay him for his vacation. No. Either, yeah, he must get his vacation. I could pay him for his vacation and he could stay on and work, okay? But you're paying him right through, okay? And he wanted a raise. And they promised him and they didn't give him. And he cost them also. Okay? And up to this day, the brother haven't come to the kind of realization that I've come to concerning money. Okay? And I'm saying this because sometimes when you do things like that, people who know better and in a better place than you, they could use their imagination on your behalf. They could desire on your behalf. They could use an assumption on your behalf for you to prosper, for you to expand. As a matter of fact, they could use their magic on your behalf. When people go in church and seeking pastor and preacher and say, "Pray for me," what do you think they're telling you? So my brother says, "If you listen to me, you want me to use my imagination on your behalf, you could reach out to me and so on, okay? But I walk by certain principles and laws." You see, what people do not realize, okay, there's a story in the Bible, okay, concerning a certain man who knew his magical self, and they call him a prophet. They call him Samuel. And this man lost his father's ass and was looking for his father's ass. But he wanted, then someone reminded him of this man he can go to, and he can consult in this man, and this man will help him. And then he said, "But what am I? What gift do I have to carry to this man?" You see, people who don't want to invest in themselves and people who have all kind of comment to make about investing in themselves. And when you give them an opportunity, you don't want to ever deal with people like that, because they don't understand the rules of the game. You see, every sport on this planet have rules, and you have to learn the rules of the game. So if you do not learn the rules of this magical game called life, money, which is something that is here as a result of magic, will control you instead of you control that. That's why many people sell their soul. In the music industry, Hollywood, all these things. Because they lack understanding of their magical self. They get so trapped in this world, they forget their mortality. But as I said before, when you really find your immortality, you'll accept your mortality. You're no longer afraid of death. You know why most people go to church and so they're afraid of death? They're afraid of hell. They're afraid of the devil. I'm afraid of the devil. When the devil is me, why should I be afraid of myself? They tell me I must accept Jesus Christ as my personal Lord and Savior, but I must not accept the devil. Tell me why I must not accept the devil. So I must accept the light, but I must not accept the darkness. That's what you're telling me. I'm not stupid. I have to accept both the darkness and accept the light. Because the light have to reflect the darkness and the darkness have to reflect the light. So how are you going to accept one and reject the next? You're going to one extreme. You're off balance. And that's what they've been doing to you. That's why you can't be an effective magician. Someone says to obtain discernment of scripture, just read all verses. What? 2 to 10. to know truth to Son of Man, God's second coming. Oh my. I glad I experienced the second coming. Because when I wake within myself and experience the virgin birth, experience the resurrection, experience Golgotha, the place of the skull, man. Experience the opening of the eye, the pineal gland, man. I understand why Jacob see God face to face and he received the blessing. Who could stop me from my blessing? No one could stop me from my blessing, bro. When you become the captain of your own ship, you would know why I tell you that the main character in the Bible, that he travel from one place to the next place in a boat. And you is so carnally minded. You think it's a literal boat. A man was traveling in a literal boat. Nah, it's a boat here, man. Go from one place to the next. In your imagination. Okay? Trying to get these let me see, comment here, but seems like this thing not moving up for me to get the read the rest comments. Let me see. What's going on here? YouTube isn't responding. I don't know. It's stuck. It definitely stuck. Look, the 130.58 did it still. Daddy. Yeah, the stream was interrupted. I guess I'm back. Let me know. Okay, you can just drop me a comment. I just want to be 100% sure. Okay, yeah, I see I'm back. Okay. Okay, let me get some of these comments I didn't read and let me just read on these comments. Someone say magician, not me. Okay, Rasta. Let me just go back up. Let me see. I'm just trying to go back to where the comments, so I just to read on these comments. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me read from me now. Where you get that information from in your head. All information come from your head. Okay. This is not information, this is experience I'm sharing. Okay. Since I was a little child growing up, I've been using magic. Okay. And you too, but just mean you do not know. Okay. You see, if you're still asleep and I'm awake, we're in two different places, okay? J.A. man, I would need some new programmation. Anyone who wants to know more about what I'm speaking about, you can book a one-on-one with me. I can show you how to use your magic. Okay. Most people do not know how miraculous they are because they never practice. They never do things consciously. They've been doing everything unconsciously. Someone, Scott Nish, I think he's answering the Rast person. Yeah? The person say they're Rasta. Say religion has convinced you that you're tiny living on a ball in space, but you're God in a quantum field. Yeah. Your God consciousness experiencing itself as you. But how are you going to know that? You can only know that through experience. Like for myself, being a teacher and teaching you, I'm speaking from experience. I'm a witness. So everything I am saying to you is things I've been practicing all my life. since I was a boy growing up and was unconscious of it until lately when I really, really understand what was happening. Then I started to use it more consciously. Someone said, no, they're teaching you to count. Okay. Someone quote Mark 14, 51 to 52. You see, a lot of people, anybody could read the Bible and quote the Bible, okay, but not any and everybody could use it as a magic book. I've been using it as a magic book, and I've seen the difference in my life because I discovered the truth, okay. I remember quite vividly, I used to pay tithes and offering. Nothing ever happened for me financially speaking, okay. I could see through and through the whole church system where it come from, the people who started all of these religious denominations, what they know that other people didn't know. It quite fascinating that all these melanated black people who are in church, if you chase the origin and who started it, it's always a white person. Okay, because they understand the science better than you and more than you, because you refuse to accept those who've been sent to you to teach you some wisdom. This man, he says, quantum field, boy, you give the best laugh for the morning. He think the quantum field, the field of consciousness is something you could see, taste, touch, and smell in the physical realm. So he would never understand. That's why you don't go teaching people certain truths who not ready. When I come here and do my live, I'm speaking to people who are ready, people who are ready to transcend, people who are ready to go further. Okay, people who have seen patterns in their life and could chase back those patterns and see that they were the ones who created them. Okay, we're not children of God, we children of man. We are God, we're not children of man. Okay, there's no difference between God and man. Children of God is angels. Angels are your thoughts, okay? An angel just mean a messenger. What bring message to you and from you? It is your thoughts, okay? You look like Chris Gayle. I'm not too sure about that, okay? But I know Chris Gayle was a very good cricketer, okay? And I can guarantee you that he used to use his imagination. Our people in sports, great sportsmen and women will tell you they use their imagination. People who win the Olympics, all these people can tell you that. There's a swimmer who wins so much Olympic gold medal. I try to remember his name. He's a white guy though. I try to remember his name. He won so much medals in swimming. Why? He used this, man. Michael Phelps. Yeah, Phelps. What's his name? He wins so much. It's all in your head. It's not real. Of course. You see, this world is an illusion. We are in a gym. How do I know that? I wake up at the gym, so I know. Go and read your Bible again. You see, as I tell you, people think they can read the Bible and understand the Bible. You cannot read the Bible and understand it without a mentor, without a self-realized one. The people who put the Bible together, why do you think they have knowledge of the Kabbalah? Why do you think they have knowledge of the Zohar? Why do you think that these people have more than you? Why do you think these people run in the music industry? They run in Hollywood. They run in the media. Even this media I'm on here speaking, they run all of these things. Why do you think they control these things and run in these things? Why is not the church people? Why is not the people who think they read in the Bible and think they understand in the Bible the way how it was interpreted to them? Do you know that the people who give you the pornography in the industry is the same people who interpret the Bible to you as literal and secular history, and the same people have to give you the right to run your church system so you will be tax-free? Crack it. Keep quiet, no man. Crack it logic. There's nothing logical in what you're saying. do something special. Let us see your powers. That's the same they read in the Bible. When a man is self-realized and self-actualized, they want him to act in a carnal way, to fit their carnal thinking. So he's projecting his thinking onto me to say that my power is something for show, something to display. I don't have nothing to show on display. The display will speak for itself. That's why they say, he who knows don't speak, and who speak don't know. So if you have a scripture right up on your vehicle, but you borrow from the bank and the credit union, I don't have no scripture right up on mine, but I didn't go and borrow from the credit union. I didn't go and borrow from the bank. It have to be something I know that you don't know, but I was able to do that, especially if I start from zero. No person in the Bible was real. Of course, there are states of consciousness. They're still here. The consciousness that the entire Bible entails of one who's omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent is not something that was, it is. The energy is right here, right now, speaking to you. Do you realize that even AI is the work of God? Some people ain't gonna believe that. Do you believe that the guns and the bombs that they use in war, that's the work of God too? They come from the same source. Do you believe that there's one source? Do you know that there's one source? They just hire magic. Do you realize that magic and science is the same thing? Every religious person have a cell phone. Was a preacher who invented the cell phone? Every religious person have electricity in their home. Was a preacher invented electricity? Imagine I'm doing something special right now and he's still asking me to do something special. Tell him again, crack it, logic. I think he's crazy. We're living in a world that when they call you crazy is a compliment. You know you're doing something right. Go through that tree right now. You see, people who never had any experience at all in the astral world or in the dream world, who never realized that the dreamer and the dreamer one, they wouldn't understand what I'm speaking about. They expect you to go through the tree in this flesh here. Woo! My, I have just made you wealthy, but you don't believe me. Okay. Scott Nash telling the Ras that. Okay. Someone says, Ras, you can go through the tree mentally. You not realize that. I remember there was a Rasta man in my country. He used to work at a place. I used to go and buy stuff. He used to work with the people there. So I used to go and buy some stuff there for my business. Okay. And I would say to him, I can turn water into wine. And he keep telling me, well, go ahead, show me. Hey, look, water. And I keep saying, it's not literal. And he still didn't understand. Up to this day, he haven't understand. It's not literal. I'd say, I've written a book called How to Turn Water into Wine. And he was working with these people, not knowing that these people turn water into wine, an employee. Because he do not understand how it works. No one could really explain to you how it really works. Until you experience it for yourself. Someone say, oh yeah. Someone say, we are God. And I certified it 100%. it is good that people could recognize and know that there's no God on the outside. But when quoting we are God and so on and all of that, anybody could do it. And I'm not saying that this person, I'm not saying that towards this comment, right? I'm just adding to what this person is saying. Anyone could say it. That's why you have to be so careful of the amount of information you're getting on the internet. But are you living like a God? Are you sexing like a God? Are you walking around like a God? When was the last time you take your shoes off and get grounded? When was the last time you get some good sunlight? When was the last time you practice mindful breathing? When was the last time you utilized the breath of God to create? When was the last time you breathed money into existence? Breathe breath, use breath. Breath work to manifest money. The Bible tells you that the self-realized one, the self-actualized one, he uses breath work. He breathed on his disciples. His disciples are what follow you wherever you go. I remember, well, just this week, I was driving by and I saw a young man and I was explaining to my wife, the person I'm with, I was explaining to her that this person, I've known him for more than 20-something years. As a matter of fact, let me rephrase what I'm saying. I would have known him for more than that. But I was telling her that this guy would have left this island and went to America for more than 20-something years. That's what I was telling her. And I told her while this guy was in the island, the very thing he was doing here before he left for America, after he spent 20-something years in America, he came back here, he was doing the same exact thing he used to do here. That's the same business he used to do. Maybe he just love it. I don't know no other way. And that's just to show you that your thoughts will follow you wherever you go. Your mind will follow you in America. Your mind will follow you in England, in Canada, wherever you go. Your mind will go with you. So, for example, people leave my country and go to America, and they end up in the same community with people who was down here, and they will go back in the same community with them, speaking the same language, living the same how, and no real change. And they do not realize that their disciples is following them wherever they go. So when you say you breathe on the disciples, it's breath work. You're using breath work to send out a message into the ether, to send out a message out into the universe. They're gonna come back to you and give you the result. Then you will understand why Isaiah 55:11 says that my words will not return unto me void, but I must accomplish that which I sent to and prosper anything where to I send it, because your word is the expression of a thought. So, when you do not have this kind of understanding and you grow up in the Caribbean, I grew up in Africa or some place that was colonized, what they are doing, they're blocking your magical powers from a very young age, especially in the school system. So when they teach you history a certain way, and they never tell you about the greatness of your ancestors before slavery, what do you think they're doing? But they have to play their part. While they pass down the secret from lip to ears to their children to continue your enslavement. And they enslave also their children too. So that it is so subtle that you wouldn't realize that this entire planet is like a prison where souls keep coming back all the time, being imprisoned and enslaved, and they don't know it. People, stop wasting your energy with Rasta. He is a distraction, yeah. Don't give that person your energy. Okay. Black bar, step. Ellie Lewis can walk in your shoe. Aya. I know Ellie Lewis. Ellie Lewis claimed to be a Maroon chief, emperor, and I know that I am definitely a Maroon. Okay, I don't want to go into more deeper things. Okay, as a matter of fact, my spiritual name is Captain Kojo. Okay, Captain Kojo Moses. Okay, so the fact that this person is using L.A. Lewis back in Jamaica with me and so on, I could go into a lot of stuff. I could show you why Jamaica is divided up to this day, and it happened way back. And what happened with the boxing match up in the Blue Mountain? I think this guy took the vaccine. Such a joke, humorous. Never. As a matter of fact, when you go in the magic book, because the Bible is magic book, it shows you those people who normally take the inoculation when they would take the heirs to the doorpost and get the pierced through by all. And I understand the symbology of it and what it's all about. And I tell you, these people are people who had loans and mortgages, are putting it in today's term, with their slave master. So they remain faithful to their slave master. Gods don't have slave masters. I have no slave master, so why should I take a vaccine? I would rather die than take a vaccine. Okay? To say I'm taking that because it's been instituted and you're going to get sick and die when death is inevitable. If the people who fear death, people who was thinking they had no place to live. They wouldn't have nothing to eat. They wouldn't have no money. They wouldn't do all of that. These are the people who took it. Somebody say ratted in no black boss, Ellie Lewis opposition. And one man a chat, crap, strip. May I set out here? Okay. Metaphor, parable, allegory. Well, the Bible could be all of these things, but when it comes to you having certain experience, these experiences are not metaphor, they're not parables, and they're not allegorical. I can guarantee you that. Because the metaphor, the parables, and the allegory is for you to realize that it is not secular history and that it is not literal something that takes place outwardly. It is something that takes place inwardly. So the words you should have here is like the esoteric. Okay. Then you better accept that Jesus is Lord then before you die. I'm not afraid of death. Okay. I want to know who Jesus is going to save you from. We're going to save you from. When the devil is yourself. Good morning from Papua New Guinea. Greetings to you. It's good to have a brother, a sister. Oh, this is a sister, Lucy. Okay, from all the way Papua New Guinea, Africa. Someone was telling us that the whole was in the head. The outside is not real. You are in a quantum field. It's very hard for him to understand it, especially in those scientific terms. Yeah, people have to have their own experience for themselves. There are many different paradigms, Rasta. Quantum field again, stop making me laugh. All belief teach truth, not none are true. All religion, when you really understand them and go beyond them, okay, they are teaching you self-realization. All. Jesus was invented by the Council of Nicaea. Okay. They try to take a personification and make it to be a person. Okay, and that's why they give you the person to make you believe that there was a literal man thousands of years ago. Okay, the Bible is my book, but do you understand it? Someone's indoctrination, someone with your religion, will it be saved? So be gone. Man, so much people giving their energy to this man who calls a Rasta. Don't force your indoctrinated mindset into others. I don't know who they're speaking to. Poor soul, chuck it away if you don't want it. Yeah. If you don't want this message, just move on. Save from what? Gehenna, magician, not me. If a person say he's not a magician, he will never be a magician. There is no wall. You live in your mind. That's true. All your gods. Smell your God. Wicked man. Oh, I love magic. I love magic. Life rarely comes to life and you become protected automatically. Yes, that's so true. Coco, beware. Propaganda. Feed your cellular structure with proper food and drink, and your cells will cause your magical being to come forth. That if you stop drinking the polluted water that they give the world to drink, that is the water with what do you call it, the fluoride. Okay, if you drink water without the fluoride in it, then you might able to transcend, okay, and find your magical self. So much people was giving their energy to this man called Rasta. I see someone have their name here as 144,000. This 144,000 just represent the number 9. Okay. Christ consciousness. Flat currency. This information. The Bible is written in code. Yeah, it's a coded book. Must be decoded. You're back, I know you fam. Hello brother, praise the Lord. Okay. You can praise the Lord, you can praise your Lord, you can praise Jesus. It's up to you. But I know who I am. Okay, I know that I'm God in flesh. Okay. I know that I'm 100% having a human experience. I'm 100% divine. Keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have, because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. Money come from God, bro. Don't make nobody fool you. Money is a creation from God. You are God. Okay. Money answereth all things. The Bible tell you that. Money answereth all things. Okay. So, with me teaching people how to attract more money in their life, this is me doing the work of God. Everyone should attract more money in their life. Okay. And it's very important that you do so. The reason why you ain't going to do nothing is because, okay, I'm not going to, Anyway, I have to give Rasta a lot of thanks for the comments and keep the chat going. Okay, so it's very important that everybody should come here and give their input. Okay, whether they disagree or agree with me, it doesn't matter. It's the same. It's the same power they're using. Okay, and I'm glad when you have people come on and they disagree. Okay, it just to show you that this world will always have balance. You'll always have the wise and you'll have the foolish. You can't change it. Happy Sunday. I can't believe in seeing you. Love, man. Peace and love to you too. Okay. Not everybody live in. You're crazy. Okay. Go read your but also read between the lines. Oh, okay. This is what this person was trying to say. Yeah, you have to read. When you read the Bible, you have to read between the lines. It's a magical book, eh? Remember that. And you're a magician. Them other planets got curve. What we got then. I never said they had curve. Hello. Someone say, oh, man. Yeah, your mind could be your prison, yeah? If you never get out from that place. I'm sorry for you. Seek help for your mental. Oh, okay. We can still hear you loud and clear. Okay. You're back now. Okay. Someone say born in a dumpster, stop preaching division. No one is preaching division, eh? Any of your videos on YouTube or other platform, you have valuable insight, brother. Yes, I have another channel called Make It Make Sense. It used to name Abdullah Neville Galad, but I changed the name. Okay. Time is a belief. That is 100% truth. Hello, brother. God bless you on this beautiful day. God bless you too. Okay, remember God is within, eh? It's your higher self. May Allah guide you. Thank you very much. May Allah guide you also. So some people can say God, some people can say Allah, but it's the same. It's the same intelligence. Brother, join Islam. I have nothing to join. Okay. Islam is I self, La, and Master. Okay. So that's Islam for me. I am the La and the Master, I self. Okay. Prophet Muhammad is sent by Allah to help all mankind. Okay, just as I have been sent by Allah to help all mankind, the same thing. Prophet Muhammad is no different to me. Okay. Why he wants you to kiss a black stone? Okay, that's the black cube. Okay. May Allah bless your family with prosperity. Thank you very much. And may Allah bless you too. Okay, why didn't any of the mappers in the 6th century have Mecca on map? Because it wasn't a real place until way after the start of the 7th century. Yeah, all religion basically have the same agenda. Eh? Okay, all of them have the same agenda. Okay, but not until you really awake, you will see it. Someone say, Guru, you always speak life. So much gratitude. Thank you very much. Justice for Bibal. I don't know. Our God is not arrogant. Islam love black people. May Allah guide you. Your God, Allah can't have a son without a girlfriend too. Yeah, so basically, people believe in whether you believe there is an outside God, Allah, anything that you believe on the outside, anything, any entity on the outside, anything outside a self is idolatry. Okay. Any of your videos on other platforms you have available? Okay, I think I don't read that already. So yeah, let me thank each and everyone for tuning in, and let me just give you a quick recap concerning getting this book in your home, the 66 Books of Magic, the Overcomer's Bible, and this is the New Testament. And I remove Jesus out of this Bible, okay, and I have a blank space for you to write your name, which is I am, okay. And so I want you to write I am where Jesus used to be and use it as an affirmation. There's so much, and you use those affirmations to give you anything that you desire in this world. So when you say I am the way, the truth, and the life, don't think that it is someone outside of yourself. It is you. Okay? Every miracle that they told you that Jesus did is basically magic they're teaching you. They're teaching you that you're a great magician. Okay? But you have to take the initiative to practice your magic. Okay? Unless you practice your magic, you would know that you're a great magician and other people are using magic. Every one of us are using magic, okay? You go to the supermarket, you're coming under the magic of those who own the supermarket there. You go to the movies, you're going under and under the spell of those who own the movie house. You go to hotels. For example, Trump, who's the president of America, you have a bunch of hotels and so on. You call Trump Plaza and so on. These, when you come under those, you understand, and so on. What do you think you're doing? Okay. When I come on the internet and so on, I use YouTube, I use social media. I am coming under someone else's spells too. So we are casting spells. So I'm saying just cast spells to benefit you and others by understanding how to play the game and play the game by the rules. That's all I'm saying. And understand that there is no superior and there's no inferior. Just remember that. Okay? You say true, but money is to be used, not to be loved. Of course you have to love money, because if you love yourself, how could you not love yourself and love money, or love money and not love yourself? If you know what money is energy. I'm speaking about people who know that money is energy. You love the energy because you can transmute that energy. Okay, and you are a master energy. Okay, so nothing wrong with that. Everything is spiritual. It's just God experiencing Himself as you. Thank you, brother, for the information. I'm ready to start my day now. Thank you. Right, because I'm definitely gonna close. Thank you, Guru. I will buy this book. Make sure get it and use it. Right, all these places in the Bible that they have the name Jesus is for you to put your name with affirmation. Affirm it. Affirm that you're the one who turn water into wine, and interpret it as you turning your goals and your dreams into your reality, and just live it and enjoy it. I mean, everything I do is from my magic I've been using. Well, my brother, it was fun. Have a good Sunday. You too. Okay, so hello, how are you, my dear? I hope God bless you with a wonderful day, and you are very handsome. Thank you very much. So I'm definitely gonna come to close. I really want to thank each and every one of you, and I definitely, want you to check out my books. Okay, the links down in the description. Get that Bible in your house, because it is generational wealth. Let me say it again, and I say it again and again and again. I wish more and more people in the world will invest in this Bible and get it in their house. This is the only Bible you will find without any Jesus in it. So if a Chinese man read this, if a Japanese man read this, if an Indian man read this, it doesn't matter who man read this Bible right here that I have here. Okay, they're reading about themselves. There's no image outside of themselves when they write their name as I am. Is it saying that it is you? So you see in Jesus, you see in Christ as a Chinese man, you see Christ as a Japanese man. You see because it's a consciousness. Okay? And you have to lay hold on that consciousness. That's why I give you the Bible. It's the most powerful Bible. But they don't want you to know that. Okay? I'm supposed to put I am on my government name. There's no such a thing as a government name. It's just two words they put together and say that's your name. Okay, also, do you have a digital copy? Yes, there's a digital copy too. Okay. So, get it, use it, and prove for yourself that you are a magician. That's my whole message. Okay. We are magicians and we've been practicing magic, and all of us is under some sort of spell one way or the other. Don't make nobody fool you. You're gonna travel, you're going to the airport, you have to have a passport, you have to have all those things. Why? Spells been cast right there. The spell caster don't cast the spells and put certain system in place. You have to come under it. The aeroplane you're gonna fly in, spell was cast to create that. Everything spell. And then they trick you and tell them I give you the good spell or the God spell. And they block you from using your own spell. That's why they tell you don't practice these things. All the different forms of magic that's in the Bible. Everyone is in the Bible. And you can practice all of them if you really understand who you are. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I really want to thank you very much. Okay. Peace. Love you all. Out.